came again, can you just speak about your control, sir? You could sort of go down to 75 kph and then hike it up to 95, and how do you sort of maintain that while hitting that good against properly?
It's a good question. I think I tend to do that a lot in white ball cricket. Change the pace. I think today we kind of spoke about that kind of just under 90k an hour kind of looked like it was spinning, and then for a period there when you went over the top it was actually bouncing a lot. So we spoke about maybe going a little bit slower, but I just think at the start it was kind of fast into it, and then it kind of changed as the day went on with the pitch. And I think Washi did that as well. He did that very well. First innings was 95-ish, and then he started to slow it up and get the variation and keep the batters guessing.
And lastly, you've had a chance to work with Raman on the rest in the business. So can you just talk about any things you picked up with him during this stint?
Yeah, Rangana's he's been really good. Obviously in Sri Lanka and now here, he took wickets all over the place, and I think he was, I guess, a master of that kind of change in pace and that guile, and just I guess working with him not just me as a spin bowling unit, it's been really good, especially in I guess conditions that we're not too similar to. Back home it might be kind of that 45 seam majority of the time and try to get some bounce, but over here it's playing with the seam angle a little bit more, and getting one to stay down or one to bounce up.
Getting Virat Kohli out on a full toss is something that doesn't come to the reaction did not tell me how much did you enjoy getting out like that, and particularly talking about today's play. How different did you bowl compared to the Indians players? If you have to just
Yeah, I think I was in more of a shock getting Kohli out with a full toss. He doesn't usually miss those. I think it was slightly slower through the air. I just tried to change it up a little bit, but usually if you bowl those, they go for 6. So, I think there was obviously a little bit there, which was nice, and I think the change of pace was, it was key today. And then I think, the Indians bowlers in the second innings, I thought they bowled, pretty good areas with change of pace. I think, the guys got the sweeps out, and as a bowler, when guys are sweeping, it can be quite niggly at times. But they were a little bit unlucky at times as well. A few nicks, a few umpires' calls and stuff. So I think it's one of those surfaces where if there is a partnership, you're not that far away. If you can get one and try go quick, bang bang quickly.
When wicket is like this, slightly helping, how important it is bowling wicket to wicket, and second thing is not ripping it too much, because when you rip it too much, batsmen get beaten if you don't hit them.
Yeah, I think especially on the surface, later on, some of them were actually going down. So I think that kind of stump to stump, if they want to play across the line or something, I think, we've seen a lot of LBs and bolds already. Majority of the wickets have been either LB or bowled, so I think we know that going into the next innings is try to keep the stumps in play and hope for something similar. And I think India will probably come out maybe more aggressive and try to put us on the back foot. But there's still a job to do with the bat. Obviously, the more runs we get now, it makes our job with the ball a little bit easier.
Your first 5-wicket ball, or even your first 4-wicket ball coming after 28 test matches. Are you surprised by that? Secondly, what has changed between the 2 test matches and Goa, where it was only 1 wicket and the other spinners were getting wickets?
Yeah, I think it was one of those days where I just got the wickets, and I guess in Sri Lanka I thought I bowled pretty well at times and was unlucky at times, but I guess we speak about bowling in partnerships a lot. I think that's very important out here. Is if we can kind of build from both ends, one guy will get the wickets and one guy will do more of a holding role, and I guess that was kind of what it ended up in Sri Lanka. Was I was kind of holding, and Ajaz or someone else got the wickets the other end, which was and it might be similar second innings where we just try to build pressure from both ends and someone might get the wickets, but we speak about that kind of partnerships and trying to, I guess, make it as hard as we can for the batters.
Mitchell, was it a strict swap between you and Matt Henry? You would have played any
I guess when we turned up in Pune and we saw there was not a lot of grass on the wicket, it was, I guess, favouring more me than another seam bowler. But I guess Matt with his little tear, but I guess we kind of knew that. Bangalore was an interesting one. It was just kind of that first day where it had been undercover and it did all sorts for the seamers. So we thought, we might get something that will not do that, do the opposite. So, but I think it was obviously important to win the toss and try to get some runs on the board and try to squeeze that way. And we know how good India are at doing that. So, there's obviously still a huge day tomorrow. We still need some more runs here and then try to squeeze with the ball.
You had a lot of success in wicket against India. Did you use any of those skills today?
I think, kind of the second half of my spell, where we found the kind of changes of paces were working. That's kind of what I do in white ball cricket. I guess when it's spinning at a fast pace, you can kind of stick to that, but there was a little bit of variation. Some would spin, some would skid, some would stay down, so it was kind of just trying to play with angles on the crease as well, but try land it in a similar spot. We watched guys like Jadu and Ashwin do that for years over here and make it, very challenging to play. So, and that's, I guess, all we try to do. All we talk about is being accurate for a long time, and try to let the pitch kind of do its thing. Not trying to try too much. It might be the odd subtle change of pace, but it's still trying to land it in a pretty good area and see what happens.
When you spoke briefly about Bangalore and how the conditions were probably more easier in that time, but to come here in Indian conditions and to be in the position that you are in, no sense of
Yeah, it is satisfying. We know, how challenging it can be in these conditions. Seen India squeeze a lot of teams for a long time, and I guess it was pleasing with the bat was guys trying to fire some shots and play some sweeps and take on the bowlers, because we know on the flip side, as a bowler, if guys are using their feet or going back or sweeping, it kind of can upset your length a little bit. In the past we've come here and just tried to block it out, and eventually one's got your name on it. So we kind of spoke about that as trying to fire the first shot or just have a little bit more intent and see what happens. So I think job's not finished with the bat, but I think when guys have shown they can sweep or use their feet, get down to the pitch, we've been in better positions to score and also defend. I remember my tour here in 2016, we ended up bowling a lot, and then it was spinning and we tried to just defend it and ended up getting out all the time.
We'll wrap it up there. Thanks, everyone.